Hey, my super beautiful, lovely, gorgeous souls. It's Lizzie the Lightworker here. Welcome, guys. Today I'm working on a viewer's request, sort of an updated version of an Aries divine female and a Taurus divine male in a twin flame union. And this is going to be for separation. 90% of these guys are in separation, your requests. So I've been focusing that, and also wanted to let you guys know I'm going to leave a link in the description box for a twin flame separation support group that I have started on Facebook that is private. And it's a small number of people, but it's growing. It's just a place to sort of vent and talk about, your experiences, your frustrations, sort of a place where you could maybe meet other people that are like-minded. I'll be putting information in the group, things to read, and doing daily cards or weekly card pulls. I'd like to start doing live readings in the group, so if you're interested, check that out. I will also leave links in the description box for my private reading information. So let's get right into this. This is going to be for our Aries. Let's get our Aries sort of energy out here. Let's see. Okay. So I feel like she has had some type of either a realization or something where she's grown into her emotions, where this is very emotional based. Her needing and longing for her divine male is emotional based. I feel like she's very emotionally tied to him. I think she feels like with him, she gets sort of this emotional aspect that she's never gotten with anybody else. And she's really missing that. I feel like he was emotionally supportive of her, and that's like sort of what she's holding on to, or he just gave her a strong emotional sense of like that connection. They had an emotional connection. I feel like there's times where she can get sort of moody and a little bit dark and sad, and she sort of has to pull herself up and out of that sometimes. But I feel like overall as a person, she gives great advice, and she's very warm and kind and emotional and sort of you know compassionate. Like I'm getting like an empath like type vibe from her. I feel like she's been working on herself as far as maybe career goals and sort of saving money and future plans. I also kind of feel like she wants a reunion with him that she can build upon a bigger, higher sort of relationship. Like she wants like those long-term goals with her divine male here. She wants to like save her money, get a house, like together, like move in together, like sort of have that money for retirement, like all those things. I feel like she wants that, like that traditional relationship that can grow into something that they sort of grow old together. I feel like that's maybe what she wants. I feel like she's still very loyal to him. There's this big sense of I'm getting like a loyalty exchange here. Like he may have been loyal to her, but I'm feeling more so she feels very loyal to him. I feel like if they're in separation, she hasn't really moved on from that emotional part, that emotional longing. She's sort of feeling that. I feel like that makes her feel very rich. I feel like she'd rather have like the emotional part of a relationship rather than the physical part, and rather than build something on false pretenses. So I feel like it's coming from a very honest place. Okay, her emotions of this union, the way she feels towards him, it's all coming from a very emotional place, like I've said, sensitive sort of place. All right, so let's get some cards out for him. I'm feeling like, to me, he's moved on from this. Okay, he's definitely moved on. I feel like he knows that this sort of needed to end. I'm not saying he had an easy time with it. I feel like it costed him a lot of strength to do this. But I feel like, he sort of is moving on from this. He sort of is taking it as turning over a new leaf. Like he wanted to start a new chapter in life. The timing could have been off where like he wanted to start a new chapter in life, but it may have not included her at the time. I feel like there was some things he had to do to grow. Emotionally, physically, like spiritually. I feel like he needed to heal. There's other things I feel like, not including her, our divine female, that he needed to heal. And I feel like he visited these things and may still be doing that, but I feel like he had to use a lot of strength to heal himself. I don't know too. I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't know if our divine female had someone else in her life, or was married or thinking about getting married, or had a high partnership with somebody else, and that could have kind of pushed him to move on a bit. And that may have devastated him in some ways where he felt like, he didn't really want it to end, but he realized it had to. And then he had to move on for himself, to sort of just move on into life, see where life was going to take him. Okay. I feel like he does get a sense that she was some type of a healing energy for him. Okay. And he's holding on to that. I feel like he does still think of her. He does still feel for her. I feel like he does just know that she brought some level of strength and healing into him. And it may have caused him also to move on from areas in his life, aside from this relationship, like other areas in his personal life that he needed to move on from to be his whole full self. All right, so I feel like she could have brought an element of that into him, where he realized that he needed to get a handle on his strength and do some things that he maybe wasn't doing before. I feel like he has done a lot of work. And I feel like he's working up to wanting to communicate with her again. I feel like this is like a new sort of passionate way he's feeling. Like in this time apart, he's had a lot of time to think about this. I feel like he feels like he can renew these feelings and that they'll actually be stronger than they were in the past. Okay. I also feel like he had to like overcome some things, almost like Survivor. Like, I don't know if it's like a PTSD thing or like something mental or something, emotional. I feel like he had to overcome all this stuff on his own. To me, this is like saying he had to face things on his own about himself and even about this divine union. I feel like he needed to face things on his own. He had to do it alone. And I do feel like he did it very purely. Okay. It's not forced. It's not anything. He just took it upon himself to like start to do this and start to make progress and start to move into his spiritual journey. But this to me is saying that he wants to like talk to her. He wants to offer like a new sort of love or a new friendship and love, or something where he thinks he has good ideas about what could work between them. So I do feel like they will come back into union. I do feel like there will be communication, and I feel like it will be on his part to her. I feel like he's the one that's sort of manifesting what he wants to say and how he wants to do it to his divine female. I do feel like that. And I feel like she's going to be totally receptive to it. Okay. I do feel like she's in such a better place financially. There's a lot of aspect of financial coming in here. I don't know if that was an issue with the two of them. Also, the financial part of it. Sometimes relationships go into financial strain because one person isn't working or the other one needs help, or I don't know if that was happening here. If that was the case, I feel like she might've been helping him. I just feel like she's open to this. She wants communication as well. I don't know if there's children involved here at all. I'm just throwing it out there. It doesn't have to resonate, guys. I just throw that out there. If I feel it, I'm going to say it. But I feel like this is all for good. I mean, I feel like progress has been made on both sides here. And him leaving, it's just more so like he just knows he had to do this. He feels like he was doing her a favor at the time, where he just needed to come into his own and he needed to like have realizations and just grow. Okay. But she's willing to accept whatever he has to offer. I feel like she's worked her way up to that. And I feel like this will be a new offer of love. Okay. If it hasn't happened already, I feel like it will be coming and it will be a new offer of love. She just will have to look at it like he may be a little bit inexperienced with love, and he may not say all the right things or do all the right things, but his heart is totally going to be in the right place. So she might have to filter through some of like his inexperience or some of his like lack of reasoning when it comes to love. I feel like he may be a little bit infatuated. He may not know really truly 100% what real love is, and I feel like it might be he operates off of infatuation and being in love with the idea of love, if that makes any sense. But I do feel like this is pure and this is whole and this is something that he wants to offer back out to her. So, I mean, a connection could be being made very soon. I do feel like they're both a little younger or in younger energy, okay? It's more so, I feel like our divine male is in a little bit of a younger energy. Doesn't mean he has to be physically younger, but just sort of like mentally younger. I feel like this love lacked maturity and that it might still lack maturity, but I don't feel like it's not that it can't work. Okay. I feel like they will have to put a little bit into that to make it work. Yeah, this is really good signs all the way around. This is all love, all romance, all romanticism of the idea of love. But I feel like he has to sort of approach her in a way where he's a little bit, I don't know, how do I want to say this? More assertive. Because I feel like she can't deal with mixed signals at all. She has to hear it like straight out, straightforward. So if he's going to approach her, he definitely has to be straightforward with his feelings and what he wants. Okay, they both have to sort of be very clear about what they want to see happen out of this. Because I feel like if they just fall back into this, it's going to be sort of like, I don't know, maybe lust or puppy dog kind of love or immature love, and it might not be strong enough to flourish. So that's just something to keep in mind. Not that that could be 100% what's going to happen, but I'm feeling that from these cards, okay? So being sure what you want. And I feel like this is definitely to be, okay? Whatever you guys are doing in separation is working. It's working. Keep doing it. Keep at it. Please keep doing it, because this World card says that you both have what it takes to make this work, okay? I just still feel like there's a little bit of growing up to do, a little bit of maturity, a little bit of time has to pass, a little bit more. Divine timing is working here, so all this happened for a reason. Don't forget, guys, we pick when we're going to separate. We pick when we're going to meet our twin, how it's going to go, where we're going to be in life. We pick when we're going to separate. We also pick when we're going to come back together, if we come back together. This particular reading, I feel like, yes, it will come back together. And I do feel like it has all the makings of something that could be really great and definitely divine here, okay? This is definitely 100% true twin flame. I will say that 100%. This is true twin flame. I just feel like the maturity level, like I said, has to grow. There will be new ideas. There will be new passions. There will be sort of like a reinvoking of romance, like a replenishing, sort of like resurgence of love, okay? And they're both going to feel it very, very strongly, and it's definitely emotional. Our Aries, though, has more emotion part of it. Our Taurus has a little bit more of a passionate, sort of lustful, sort of almost like a sexual drive, where our divine female has more of an emotional drive, and she wants the emotion from him. She needs that emotion. She can't really be in love or can't really like feel like having sex or being like sexual with somebody unless she has the emotional part of it. Okay. Once she has that emotional part, it thrusts her into, let's build something here. Okay. That's what I'm feeling. And he has to sort of be very clear about what he wants, how he wants this relationship to go. They both do, but it's, I feel like more him has to sort of speak up and say what he really wants. And if it's going to take time and they just sort of, let this happen over time and build it slowly, because I feel like that might be the key here with this, is to let it rebuild slowly. I feel like it has all the makings of something great. Okay, so I'm going to pull Adoring Virtue Butterfly card to sort of tie it up, like the energy here in this reading. So we're getting realizations and epiphanies. So that's really good and sort of spot on here, because this is sort of like when you realize what you really want and you realize who you want it with and how you want it to go. And that's exactly what we've been talking about. It's sort of like something that needed downtime and needed a rest period so it could grow and flourish into something bigger and something that they can both handle. Okay. Because sometimes our energies don't sync up and we think we're ready to handle it, but then they're not, and then they're ready to handle it and we're not. So I'm feeling like that timing is coming in perfectly. It's weaving perfectly. So keep doing what you're both doing. Let it happen naturally. Let this communication flow and happen naturally. I do feel like it's coming. I do feel like it's coming sooner than later. I don't like to give the predictive part because then it stops you from, your spiritual quest and your journeys and your development. So, but I would say it's not too long. I would say within maybe 6 months time. So yeah, these realizations and epiphanies, you may continue to have sort of these things that, stick out in your head. About your twin. Okay, so know that those are true and know that they're validated. All right, so any kind of things, visions you're having, or synchronicities, or anything about realizations, or any dreams you're having, any shocking ideas, like stuff that pops in your head, like an ooh moment, an aha moment, pay attention to those, okay, because it may lead you back in a different way to your twin. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. Please give me a big thumbs up, like, and share, and I will see you guys in the next reading. Thank you so much for watching.